All right, welcome to day 22 of the Advent calendar. And today is Benriach 10. Now, I think there are better Benriachs, but Benriach is a kick-ass distillery. One cool thing about Benriach, actually, my wife and I got the chance to go to a tasting hosted by one of the master guys in charge at Benriach, also in charge of the distilling at Benriach, from what I understand. And they're both owned by Brown-Forman. And but the early history of Benriach is that originally it was owned by a guy named John Duff, and this was in 1898. And he also owned Longmorn. So Longmorn and Benriach were the same owner, and at one point Longmorn and Benriach had a private train track that went just between the two distilleries and carted things back and forth. And then there was a crash called the Pattison Whiskey Failure, which we teach about actually in one of our sommelier courses. And it actually, the crash caused Benriach to have to close, but Longmorn stayed open. And so Benriach provided Longmorn with grain and peat and things like that using that train. But Benriach was only malting during that time, not actually producing whiskey. It was reopened in 1965 by the Glenlivet Distillers Company, then got bought by Seagram's, then got bought by Pernod Ricard, then got bought by Brown-Forman. See, that's just a classic Speyside. That is butterscotch with a hint of barrel, a little bit of peat, if any. I can't remember if all Benriachs are peated. I have a peated Benriach. It could be that this is a non-peated whiskey, which would make sense because I'm getting just a weird tang of barrel and wood notes on the back end, but not a lot of drama. It makes me want to go back and get one of my other Benriach variations, because this is good, but this would be a really good introductory. You know what this actually, because I have Longmorn in my head now, this is not that far off of Longmorn. Yeah, I kind of now want to pour. See, this is when the Advent calendar sort of bites you in the ass, because I've tried to limit myself to only drinking the whiskey in the calendar, and it's you can't do comparisons that way. So it's not Brown-Forman anymore. That's what it was. It was acquired by an independent company that called themselves the Benriach Distillery Company, and this 10-year-old marks the first release created completely under independent ownership. So it was a big moment for them. That's what it was. I was trying to remember. This is supposed to be the new core expression of the Benriach range, and I gotta say, I'm all for it. This is killer. I do get some kind of pear and apple notes in there. I may have to put Benriach as my new Speyside selection in the Tour of Scotland instead of Glenrothes, because this is a better example of what Speyside does well, as opposed to just a better example of butterscotch. Anyway, it's the 22nd. That means it's Friday. That means relatives are probably starting to arrive. So you're going to need this Advent calendar more than ever. You and me both. So here's to making it through the next 5 days, past Boxing Day and all. Until tomorrow, may your crazy stay this side of legal, and may you return before we have time to miss you. Cheers.